Why should we care about art?
In today's world, everything is very logical and analytical. I feel the world is disconnected from the heart space. People are looking for depth, for meaning, and feeling from the heart. That's where art provides that space. It helps express whatever you're trying to say or feel. Art is a great form of expressing the soul. Most of my pieces are vibrant, loud, and colorful, even though I grew up in the complete opposite environment. That was very harsh and sad, depressing, that wasn't very nurturing for me as a woman. How do you feel about art, Jason?
The way that society is at the moment, we do seem more disconnected than ever. Lots of us are siloed off from what would have been communities 70 years ago. We don't switch off from work. Even if your phone is off, what we need is heavy doses of presence and spirituality, community. And that's why we're seeing so many people turn to meditation and yoga. Whereas in the past, maybe that sort of stuff wouldn't have been as important because you had the community and life was a bit more light. Mila, could you tell us what's the journey that you've been on that's brought you to where you are today?
Sure, I would love to. Well, I've always loved painting and drawing all my life, and I do it as a way to meditate or just connect with myself. But in the past, I was very shy and self critical of myself and my work on sharing it with people. So I was my own worst critic, and anytime I create a piece, I would criticize it. So I decided to stop doing that and embrace it, enjoy my work, and just enjoy the process of painting and reconnecting with that artistic side that I have. And it's also in my bloodline. So instead of being too hard on myself, I decided to switch this part and say, you know what, your work is beautiful. It would be awesome to share it with the world and see if it resonates with anyone, especially because I like how the pieces I create always have a message behind them. And whether it's a message about healing and growth, or expressing a feeling, or talking about the dark side of depression and the light that comes out of it or after it, right? It's just the process of being a human being in general, right? The entire journey. So I find that outlet very, very close to my heart to express all these things on canvas.
What was the turning point in that flipping that self criticism?
Um, I felt that it didn't serve me, and I once read that if you had a best friend and you treated that friend with all the love and care, how would you talk to that friend, right? Wouldn't you always encourage them, praise them, tell them great things about themselves? And if they come to you with criticism, wouldn't you try to show them the other side of how beautiful they are? And then I thought, why don't I do that to myself? Why can't I be my own cheerleader, my own best friend, right? And so I started giving that energy to me, and nurture that self love side that I needed to work on. Because growing up in a very harsh environment and with a very disciplined and harsh parent, I unconsciously took those habits on and became my own worst critic. I was very harsh on myself, and I still am to a certain point. It's not 100% resolved, but it definitely comes up every once in a while. So that's when I decided, you know what, let me just give myself some praise, uh, you know, uh, nurture that side in me that deserves it, exactly like I'm treating my best friend. So that was a turning point for me. It was a decision, basically. And it's kind of like a habit, a daily habit that I need to remind myself of and remind that I do deserve this, right? Because the sad part, Jason, is that we really don't learn how to love ourselves, right? From everything in the world around us, from our parents, from the media, from the comparisons online. It's always about, you're not doing enough, you're not working hard enough. There's a lot of comparison and criticism. Like, very little praise do we get from the world that actually teaches us how to love ourselves.
Yeah, that's so true. It's how do you feel it? How do you think about validation? And because obviously you share your work online, and I presume we'll be selling your paintings as well. Like, how do you
Mhm.
feel about that side of it?
Well, I always remind myself that it's not about the number of likes or followers or any of that. I always remind myself that it's something that I do for me. It's something that sparks passion in me, and it's a gift that I want to share with the world. And the most rewarding part is if it resonates with someone else. So when I get comments like, "Oh, this piece resonates with me so much. I really love how you were able to portray this emotion," or "It's so inspiring to see how your work is flowing from your culture," or whether or calligraphy, or whether it's ancient Egyptian art and things like that. Especially when I talk about difficult emotions like grief or being stuck in an abusive relationship, learning when to let go. Really sensitive topics like that help people actually feel seen, right? So it's very, very easy to, get that dopamine hit of the validation you get from the likes or the followers and all that. But at the same time, it's a constant reminder that this is not for the sake of the validation. This is for you. And if it touches people's hearts, that's even a million times more rewarding.
Mm. Do you know what's really cool is whilst you're talking, I'm getting this like mirror held up to the same process that I go through and have gone through. You could have replaced, painting with podcast, because
Hmm.
I've done the same thing, and I would imagine you may have this conflict, or if you're not careful, you'll have a conflict around commercial, doing it for commercial reasons versus doing it for expression. And that's exactly you know, most people know my podcast, kind of like fitness, self improvement stuff, whatever. And I'm like, artist, interested, want to talk to you. Totally out of my niche.
Yeah.
Um, and it's like if I was building a podcast and to grow it as big as possible, as fast as possible, this would be the worst way to do it, because you'd need to pick a niche and like go hard on that, right?
It's a
But is
discovery process, right?
exactly, exactly, and I really do feel that, um, yeah, that constant reminder that you need to like pick out the best bits and go like, what's amazing about this piece of content I put out there, or this piece of artwork, you know,
Yeah.
because that critic, the inner critic, is so incessant.
Right. Yeah. Everyone has a shadow that keeps putting them down, or always finding ways not to do things, or keeping you small and fearful and all that. But like you said, Jason, it's discovering different areas and contents for your podcast is actually a great way to discover what meaning or what meaningful content do you want to put out, because it sounds like it's coming from the same intention, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same intention of hearing people's stories and how did they end up in this path, or what does this specific niche mean to them, right? So it's all about stories that really help us learn lessons about growth and the things that we've overcome. And it sounds like we're also going through the same challenges, right? Of trying to connect and at the same time be more in touch with our hearts rather than just stuck in the analytical
Mm-hmm.
logical mind, right? And that's the beautiful part about social media, right? I mean, it has a double edged sword, which is the validation part and a superficial aspect of it, but at the same time it helps people connect in a positive way.
Why should we care about art?
Why should we care about art? I feel that in today's world, everything is very logical and analytical. It's all about, um, I feel the world is a little disconnected from the heart space, meaning um, people are looking for depth, people are looking for meaning and feeling from the heart. And I feel that's where art provides that space. It helps express whatever you're trying to say or feel on a canvas. Uh, Personally, I believe that art is a great form of expressing the soul. So I feel that my art is a representation of who I truly am. Most of my pieces are vibrant and loud and colorful, even though I grew up in the complete opposite environment. I grew up in an environment that was very harsh and sad, depressing, that environment that wasn't very nurturing in terms of growth and expectations for me as a female or as a woman. Most of the expectations that were thrown at me were you're just going to get married and have kids, but you don't have to worry about career or anything. Leave that for the man. Art is just a hobby. You can't make money out of art, even though I've seen pieces worth $30 million in Art Basel or um, high-end galleries like Art Basel, for instance. So it's all these that kind of environment. What I'm trying to say is it doesn't have to shape you, or you don't have to um, mold yourself and to be part of that environment. And art is a reflection of who you truly are, what's trying to come out of you, and it can be very healing because it can show you sides of you that you haven't truly explored yet, whether it's a vibrant side or you can also embrace depression and try to understand what is the root cause of you feeling this way. Do you feel passionate when you paint? Like what it's all about how you feel. Nothing about art is logical, analytical. Like it's that's my favorite part about it is you don't really have to worry about what's gonna happen next. What's my plan? Just use the brush, and it will guide you. That's what my experience with art has been, and it's been truly rewarding. And I truly enjoy getting images in my head and deciding to put it on canvas and see how it turns out to be. Which a lot of the times I feel very happy with the result and say, wow, I can't believe I made that. You know, all because during the process, I feel it's very important to encourage my own self, even if it's not if it doesn't look great, even if it's not perfect. At least I'm enjoying the process and I'm discovering what will come out of this painting that I'm working on. Like what's coming out of me onto the canvas that I can actually learn from, right? It's kind of
Mm.
like writing or singing or creating music. It's a very similar process. So to answer your question, why do we have to care about art? It's if you're sick and tired of the logical analytical side of the world and you want to feel get in touch with your emotions or feel more from your heart space, I'd say maybe art is your thing.
Yeah, and I think
How do you feel about art? Jason?
Well, I think because of the way that society is at the moment, which you've alluded to, we do seem more disconnected than ever. Lots of us are sort of siloed off from what would have been communities, 50, 70
Yeah.
years ago, something like that. We don't switch off from work. Most of us don't. And
Right.
then and also if you're self-employed or entrepreneurial, that never switches off. Even if your phone is off, it's always, unless obviously, unless you're mindful of it and have a meditation practice or whatever. And I feel like, so what we need is, it's like, we need like heavy doses of presence and spirituality and community or whatever. And I think that's why we're seeing like so many people turn to meditation and yoga. And whereas, maybe in the past, maybe that sort of stuff wouldn't been as important, because you kind of had the community and stuff, and like life was a bit more light.
Right.
So yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, as it happens, the art that we're talking about in terms of visual art, like physical visual art and stuff, is not something really I've took the time to appreciate in my life. I was, and I guess still am, but I don't really do it, but a musician. So, obviously that is that was always my form of creativity. Now it's kind of gone into podcasting and kind of like a few other things. So why is it important?
How
I
did
think
how
you I
did
think you
art
answered
make?
it really well.
But well, I'm curious to know, how did making music made you feel? How did it make you feel?
Um, I have a very complex relationship with music. Those that know me or listen now know exactly. But like, at times, the best thing in the world, certainly when I was with people, like playing in a band. Um, but I think my life didn't turn out how I expected it to, with regards to
Mm.
like my music career. Um, and I think I think I'd need. There's a lot of healing for me to do there. I'm almost like avoidant towards music, because something hurts.
Mm.
Um, like,
Sounds like disappointment.
mm, disappointment, and there's like an element of guilt for wasting your talent and not utilizing it. Um, so yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's how I felt without. That's how I felt when I didn't paint. When I didn't
mm,
draw, I would always, when people ask me, "What do you like to do for fun? Do you have any hobbies?" Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Yeah, I love to paint," and my eyes would light up. But I never
mm,
painted, and I felt that exact same guilt that you're talking about, which is, okay, why am I not nurturing that side. I was stuck in survival mode, I guess, of like I don't have mental space to
Mm.
create. I'm like surviving. I'm getting this done after the next because I'm a single mother, so that's a lot of responsibility on one person, and it doesn't really give you the space to create or to be in that energy of creating, right? And
Mm.
sometimes I would cope with consuming a lot of content online, and I don't want to even hear my own thoughts, so I just consume and consume. But then what helped me was I kept telling myself that I'm in a safe space. I am safe. I am I am gifted. I am talented. I started to replace those negative thoughts with positive ones, and I let go of the outcome. I never imagined I would reach 1.5k followers on Instagram. I
Mm.
really didn't. Like the minute the first day I launched my Instagram page, I felt so cringe and scared. Oh my god, nobody cares, kind of mentality. And I promised myself to let go of the outcome because that's where it hurts the most when you put certain expectations and you don't meet
Mm.
them because we can't control everything in life, right? I feel what we can focus on is being present with the process. And then the outcome will reveal itself on its own and see how things unfold for you. Yeah, it's great to have goals and everything, but at the same time, you should. It's more rewarding when you enjoy the process of creating rather than dwell on the outcome and that goal you're trying to reach. I feel it will unfold one by one, step by step by time.
Yeah. You mentioned you had a harsh upbringing.
Hmm.
Would you care to tell me a little bit more about your background?
Sure. Well, my dad is a very disciplined person who was very harsh growing up. I love him to death, but he struggled with severe depression, which made it very difficult to connect with him. People with depression are always hard to love because they have this thought that or belief that nobody loves them, no matter how hard you try. So his approach was very harsh on me and my siblings, and he had three girls. So having girls in this society, especially growing up in a Muslim environment, uh, wants the parent to put them in a cage, kind of like I don't want anybody to touch them, kind of environment, right? Which can be suffocating. We're like overprotective approach is not the most nourishing for people, right? And so he was such a perfectionist and the kind of person who is not impressed at all. Like no matter what you do, nothing impresses him. Always finds the flaws in things. So unconsciously, I took on the same mentality. Right, I was very critical of myself because it was like I was being such a perfectionist in my work and in my life, and no, it has to be do this. I never praised myself over anything or accomplishments, so it was very. It gave out this negative outlook on things, and I thought that was the norm, right? Because that's the environment I grew up in. I thought this is the reality. This is how it should
Mm.
be. Until I learned that it wasn't serving me right. It was attracting negative things into my life just by thinking that way and looking at things that way. It's holding me back from so many opportunities. And so it was that awareness that made me realize this line of thinking is not going to be my blueprint anymore. I don't want to be part of this blueprint. I don't like it. I'm gonna try to look at it closely and maybe reshape it bit by bit, right? And like you said, I mean, healing is a journey. It's not like we reach a certain destination and done. No, it's you're constantly visiting that blueprint that you took on from your parents or your generation or your ancestral line, and you're reviewing that inner dialogue or your belief system, your thoughts, how you feel about yourself. It takes a lot of awareness to see those patterns, right? And so that was my biggest challenge, is just to overcome this mindset and get over that kind of self-criticism and perfectionism that was really holding me back from just creating. I mean, most of my pieces are not even close to perfect, but I like them. I feel that they're perfect to me, not to anyone else's standards. I just enjoy how they look like. Sometimes I revisit some paintings and be like, maybe I should have fixed this part. Maybe I should add a little bit here and there. But then it's a vicious cycle, right? I will never reach that final result of, oh, it's perfect. So I just praise myself and say, like, wow, this turned out to be really good. I really like these colors and patterns. I did such a good job. And that's what you give out to the world, right?
So you grew up in Egypt, right?
No, I grew up in Emirates in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
I lived there for 14 years. And if you're familiar with Emirates, it's a melting pot of all nationalities. So you have people from all over the world who live in one area, and we share traditions, cultures. It's very inclusive. So people come in with their own traditions and cultures, and live all together in the same area. So I got exposure to different cultures and traditions and people from all over the world, which was great because it gave me insight on other communities and other cultures and mindsets and languages, in from different parts of the world. And then after that, I moved to Egypt, moved there for high school and my bachelor's degree. Lived there for about 7 years or 8 years, and then
Why did you go to Egypt?
my father felt that it was about time to go back to Egypt and be closer to our family. Because growing up in Emirates, it was just us, the immediate family. We didn't have
So
relatives there.
so were you born in Egypt or in Emirates?
I was born in Emirates.
Okay, but your dad was born in Egypt, right? Yeah.
Yes, my parents are Egyptian.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Egyptians and people from all over the Middle East or Europe or the U.S. would relocate to Emirates for job opportunities or just an experience, and that's how we ended up there. So I grew up there part of my life, and then another part in Egypt, and then I moved to the U.S.
Did you move to the US like on your own or with your family?
No, I actually moved with my husband at the time, but we got separated a few years ago.
Okay. Sorry to hear that.
It happens.
You got is it a little boy?
Sorry?
Did you say do you have a little boy?
Yes, he's 9.
Oh, cute. Is he into his art?
He likes art. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's actually my number one fan. So I'm so blessed for that. He supports me a lot, and sometimes we like to create art together. So I like to, nourish that artistic side in him and try to get him off the tablet as much as I can. That
Yeah.
generation needs a lot of activities or insights outside of that tablet and iPad world.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think I think now would be a good time for you to show us some of your work.
Sure.
If you would be up for sharing your screen. Anyone who's listening on audio, we will try and describe.
Okay.
Um,
I wonder which one to start with. This is hard.
you go for it.
Welcome to my gallery.
Where are we going to
um,
start?
I want to start with this piece
Yeah, I've
about
seen
healing
that
and
one.
growth. This one is very close to my heart, actually. And I was meditating one day and just thinking about relationships in general, and trying to understand why am I always attracting men who are severely depressed, right? Um, I've noticed it's like a pattern in the in my relationships, and how it breaks my heart to see men go through that and deal with that. But at the same time, I wondered why can't I attract someone who is happy, who loves life, who enjoys life, and so on. And so I got this vision right here that you see right here on the screen of these two hands. One side is in the light, peaceful, warm, loving side of the painting, and the other is very dark, right? And it hit me that the reason why I was pursuing these relationships was because I had this deep desire all my life to save my own father from depression. So I felt that I might be able to fulfill that by helping my partner, who is going through the same thing, by offering love and affection and encouragement and compassion and all that, and that could save them.
Always comes down to daddy issues.
Or it comes down to daddy issues, mommy issues, and I think that the most important part is to be aware of it, right? To just see it, see where it's coming from, and get some kind of closure or heal that part. Trying to understand that you are nobody's savior. You are your own savior. And so this painting basically explains that you need to learn when to let go. And it's okay to offer a helping hand to someone who is suffering, right? But at the same time, you need to learn when to let go before you get dragged into their own despair.
So the dark hand is like all the fingers are kind of open in like
Hmm.
seeking help, I guess.
Right. It's
And
like save me, but when
yeah,
you
and
you
then
lend that caring, uh, loving hand, they pull you in instead of you pulling them out.
I noticed that on the left hand, the light hand is actually also like closed, which is like really subtle. But I guess
Hmm.
that's would you say that's like protection as
Yeah,
well as kind of
it's that's interesting.
was that conscious?
That's interesting. It was more of a like I was trying to portray softness, like a softness of lending that hand, in a gentle way, rather than I'm your hero, I will save you, I'm the savior,
Mm,
right? But like there's a an element of femininity in it, or
mm-hmm,
feminine energy, right?
mm-hmm,
Because men and women both have feminine energy, right? It's that soft, caring, nurturing side that both men and women have, right?
mm-hmm.
And so I was trying to portray that side. In
So I think so. The light hand is actually moving toward the dark hand. Is that right? Getting pulled
uh,
in. I
yeah,
thought it was moving away. That's why I
well,
thought that.
good,
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
because that's what it should do. When you see this darkness, and it all boils down to what's actually happening too, right? If you're able to pull them out from the darkness into the light, then awesome. But if they don't want to go into the light, and instead they pull you into the dark with them, that's when it becomes dangerous. That's when you need to learn to let go.
So this is where we hear a lot about like art is in the interpretation of what is it? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What's the quote? There's like a quote, I'm sure, where
Beauty
it's
is in the
like,
eye of the beholder.
yeah, I don't know if it's that one, but it's like people say that like there's this general conception around like art is what you make of it, not necessarily what the maker made of it.
It can go both ways. I
Mm,
mean, I feel the most beautiful part about art is how people interpret it, and it
yeah,
doesn't have to be the same message that you have. It's very subjective, right? So
because
I think
I always used to think if I've interpreted it wrong, that like, oh no, I got it wrong, you know? And then it's only now when I'm starting to realize with things like music, it's like, no, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because if it allows you to see something that was otherwise hidden,
Mm,
then that's what's really beautiful. But it's a beautiful painting.
thank you, appreciate it. I when I shared this on Instagram, someone immediately messaged me saying, "I'm going through the same exact thing. This came to me at the right time. Thank you for the reminder."
Wow.
And that was so rewarding to me because that's what I'm trying to show people is, and it's very, very hard to actually do that. I mean, it's easier said than done to let go of something that is putting you in a dangerous situation or dragging you
Mm-hmm.
down, or it's in relationships when you feel like your partner is constantly choosing the darkness, or doesn't want to grow, or doesn't want to become to step out of their dark side, and keeps criticizing you for being positive or for being loving, right? It becomes very toxic.
Mm,
But it's not easy to let go because there's so many layers and emotions tied to that, and guilt too, a lot of guilt when it comes to letting
mm.
go of
Yeah.
people going through that. So that is one of my favorite pieces. Another one that I really like is one of my calligraphy pieces that um, talk about, it's the duality between darkness and light.
Mm.
Um, so
Could you just remind us what calligraphy is?
yes, of course, calligraphy is Arabic, is the art of writing. So in this painting, I used the Arabic letters as a form of patterns in this painting.
Mm,
Because I noticed that most of my patterns kind of look like Arabic calligraphy or Arabic letters, and so I
mm.
figured why not use them in this painting to portray the message of between darkness and light. Okay.
I just laughed then because then a lot of my writing is like massive capital English letters, and so much of when I draw ends up being like geometric. So
Really?
I just thought that
Well, that
then.
that reveals a lot about you. Actually, it means you're extroverted. You
Mm,
like to be with people. You're open.
mm.
You'd be good in sales. Have you done sales before?
Yeah, yeah,
There you
that
go.
was, I did sales. Although I'm like, yeah, I have like two different styles, but that's, I don't know, it's a weird kind of masking. Like, yeah, I have
You're
like
a
big
people
capital
person.
ones, and then I have like, if I'm like journaling, it's a little bit more kind of like round and like a bit nicer. And then when I write cards, it's just like crazy rock star signature.
Yeah, it depends on the state, on what you're thinking about, how you're
Mm.
feeling with that day. Yeah,
It really
I
does
believe.
change. It's quite strange actually. I was just looking through my notes then, and like you get these different versions of the writing.
Yeah, It does.
Interesting.
And yeah, when I'm in a rush, I write, with a lot of pressure and my lines are extended, or when I'm focused, my lines are more readable and
Hmm.
longer strokes and so on. Uh, but in this painting, I was trying to show how on the dark side of this painting, it portrays a candle, and if you see on the dark side, I wrote in Arabic the words that lower your vibration. And I'm not sure in spirituality if you're familiar with the term vibration,
Hmm.
high and low. So, low vibration represents negative emotions that put you down, that just keeps you sad and low, right? For example, anger and hatred and guilt, pessimism, despair, envy, fear, and anxiety. All these emotions put you in such a low vibration that it dims your light and it darkens the things around you, right? It's like the energy you give out into the world, which is a metaphor in this painting to show that be conscious of the energy that you put out. What is happening inside of your heart? Are you holding anger? Are you holding shame? Are you holding lots of fear, resentment, pessimism, right? And all of that actually dims down the candlelight. If you
Yeah.
can see on this side,
Yeah, I was
it's
just going to
barely
ask, is
lit.
that deliberate? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And there's a smoky dark side on this side of the painting that displays these emotions. So it's a metaphor to remind you that whenever you're in that state of mind and your heart is filled with these emotions, this is the energy you give out into the world, and this is how the world will respond to you.
Mm.
And when I showed this painting to my son, he said, "If you hate the world will hate you back."
Yeah.
Like a 9-year-old just simplified it with these words, and I thought it was beautiful.
Wise young man.
Yes. And then on the other side, you can see the optimism, right? Like the light. And the light is all about the positive feelings, the high vibration of forgiveness, compassion, peace, um, optimism, um, kindness, hope, right? All of these are the states of mind that raise your vibration and attract that kind of energy into your life. So it's
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
thank you. And that you can also see that the flame is much more ignite and
Mm.
bigger on that side of the page because all these positive emotions are fueling it. I mean, in the past, I used to think that, yeah, but you have certain conditions in life that is making you feel this way. So my feelings are valid, right? I am, I lost my job, or I'm dealing with a horrible boss, so my feelings are valid. They're the reasons why I am in that state of mind.
Mm.
But in spirituality, I learned that you are in control of these emotions. You shouldn't rely on external circumstances to become the person you want to be. There's a certain kind of independency here. It's all about a mindset shift, or um, you choose. It's literally a choice to feel a certain way about something, and that choice will lead you to better decisions and um, better places in life as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the law of attraction, if you're familiar with it as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what's interesting is there's that duality. It's like there's a bit of a theme with the previous one as well.
Yes, correct. I did notice a lot of that in my artwork, the duality.
Mm-hmm.
Another piece that represents that too is about fear. So another calligraphy piece that I really like is this one that basically says, life begins where fear ends. So, and again, it's in Arabic calligraphy, so all these letters are Arabic, and it says, life begins where fear ends. So,
Mm.
whatever you're fearful of in life, that could be something that's blocking you from where you're supposed to be. Like, I bet, I bet you, Jason, were scared to start this podcast, right? And it was
Yeah.
probably something that was holding you back from starting this.
Yeah, it's hard to think back now, but yeah.
Yeah. Um, for me, I was scared of being seen. I was scared of being
Mm.
judged. Like when I posted my art online, I really was scared of people saying, "Who do you think you are? Like, why are you even sharing your art?" You know,
Mm.
like all this fear of being judged and seen were things that were holding me back. But the minute I started to share my art and paint and all that, it was really fulfilling, and I started to feel alive again because
Mm.
it's something that I'm passionate about, and it's in my bloodline too. Art is a big thing in my family, but the sad part is it was never nurtured. No, so I guess it's a responsibility on me now to start nurturing that.
Yeah. I think what's interesting is attachment keeps coming up in my head.
Yeah.
Um, you, that's how we connected, wasn't it? That you'd seen one of my reels, I think, to do with my attachment episode, wasn't it?
Attachment styles, yeah.
Yeah, which is really interesting because that's come up in my head a few times while I've been chatting. Um, because um, that whole experience was like very very cathartic, and I used it to channel it into an episode, which was helped me to think about it and stuff. And the reason why I thought about it there is I was in this relationship, and rather than trying to like play the game of like, oh, okay, I won't message too much, keep her interested, um I'm like, how would I show up if there was like no fear here?
Mm.
um
Fear of what though?
well, abandonment, isn't it? Rejection, whatever.
Yeah,
um so I was like, well, if I wasn't in fear, then, and I did an episode on this, but if I wasn't in fear, I would just love that person, like the verb. I would just offer them love. Like if I wasn't afraid of anything going wrong, of not receiving anything in return. So I
yeah,
chose that, and as it happened, like that person wasn't ready for it, but like it ended up being this fascinating journey in whereby I actually retested my attachment style like a week after this relationship had broke down, and it came back as secure. I'm like,
mm.
okay, that's fascinating.
That
And
sounds
then,
secure.
and it was like within the acceptance of my anxious attachment and non-fear is actual security in a paradoxic way, you know? And
Right,
still, like, I still lean anxious, but it's like I'm okay with being anxious. Like, that's just part of me. And it was like, yeah, really amazing to like get this realization, and uh to have really kind of understood. I now understand how to integrate that side of me.
hats off to you for your awareness on that. Honestly, that takes a lot of awareness to see that.
Thanks. Yeah, and it's hard because a lot of, and I think this is why a lot of the attachment stuff, certainly, like, there's not a lot of men that talk about it.
Yeah,
So, and a lot of the content out there is aimed at women. So there's this balance with like the masculinity, being a man and being masculine, and don't show too much emotion, but show some. And guys are trying to figure out like how to be a man.
Right.
And I think it's like, yeah, well, I get all that, and I should, speak about how I feel if I'm feeling anxious or whatever, but it's not very manly. So you kind of like trying to get this thing, and it was like my realization that it's like, actually it's a very masculine act to be
Yeah.
accepting of it, and here's me, this is me, this is how much love I've got to give or whatever. If you don't like it, fine. And
Yeah.
that's where like the masculinity can come in my opinion.
It's the honesty about it too, right? You're honest about how you represent yourself and how you feel,
Mm,
uh, to the point where you're not really worried about how she will react, or it's just honesty too, and it takes a lot of, you know, communication skills
mm-hmm. And
to
it's
show that, right? A lot of people bottle it up too and avoid it and all that. So being honest about it and vocal is so important.
yeah, and it's hard to um that awareness is takes a long time to develop, I guess. So you've got to be like, when you say something, if you're gonna go out on a limb and be like, I'm this person, like you
Right.
need to be like pretty certain that that is you. Does that make sense?
Right. It takes a lot of awareness. I feel like awareness is hard because people don't want to look at the dark side. They don't want to look at the flaws.
Hmm.
Yeah, they feel like, yeah, 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 I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good. But they don't really want to see. It's like it hurts too much to see it. But awareness is so important. I would rather date someone who is aware of their flaws than completely oblivious
Mm-hmm.
of what they're doing, and, put some mask on of, I'm perfect, I'm great. You don't know anything. The ego comes out. Um, but awareness is key for sure.
I'm so excited to tell you about my first ever sponsor. Bear Bar make the highest quality shower soaps. Those of you close to me will know I'm always recommending and gifting them to people. I've actually brought some upstairs from my bathroom to show you. This one is Nebula, Nightshade, Fresh Cut Pine. This is one of the first ones that they made. It's got like this OT kind of texture thing. I once described it to Christian, the founder, as like a cheese grater for my feet in a good way. Favorites are Woodsman, Molten Lather, is actually a shampoo bar, and Citrus Burst, which I've used all of that, so I don't have it. Do you remember those like packs you used to get with Pokemon cards? They're kind of like that. They stack it in your bathroom really nicely. You'll definitely dig it. Once you try these, you will never want to go back to £1.99 squeezy plastic, horrible fairy liquid style soaps. Trust me, it is an absolute game changer. I don't even bother with moisturizer because I've got this fantastic quality soap and a good diet, of course. There's no plastic. It's made in the UK. Honestly, it's just a 5-star product all round. If you'd like to try Bear Bar, you can get 15% off your first order by going to bit.ly/bearjace. That's BAREJASE to get 15% off. All right, do you want to do another one? Infinite Amethyst.
Okay.
That's gorgeous.
Thank you.
So,
Uh,
and what are these all done like with similar materials?
yes, this was done by acrylics. So there's this method called acrylic pouring,
Mm-hmm.
where you mix acrylic paint with this solvent that makes it more into a liquid form.
Mm-hmm.
So you pour it onto the canvas, and then I use some kind of like a blow dryer or a tool that would move the colors into place.
Mm-hmm.
So I did this pattern, and it kind of looks like an explosion of purple themes. And then with a fine brush, I would go in and add fine details like those little veins you see, those little
Mm-hmm.
lines. So it's I call it the infinite infinite amethyst. So it represents like a swirl of purple dreams and blue mysteries with lots of black depths. So it kind of
Mm,
like feels like a galaxy of whispering its secrets, where chaos turns into creation.
interesting.
That piece was chaotic to create for sure.
Do you know what it makes me feel?
What?
And interesting because I got like a weird, like serotonergic little like dose when it came up on the screen. I was like, ooh. And it reminded me of almost like underground like crystal formations, like
Yeah.
water, like a lake, underground lake, something like that. And it
Mhm.
was kind of like beautiful.
Awesome.
It looks so
I'm glad
cool.
you saw that. Thank
I
you.
suppose that type of piece is slightly different from your other stuff, which is much more um or autobiographical. Would that make sense?
Kind of. Well, some of my I have different themes, right? I
Hmm.
like to I love nature, so I do a lot of landscape work. I also like to encompass pharaonic art, so it's more of modern style kind of art. So if you look on the pharaonic art section here, you can see a lot of things inspired by the Bastet. So, back in
Mm,
ancient Egypt, Bastet is a cat that represents fierce protection and was a gentle guardian. I created that piece to represent, and then I like the minimalist uh, part of it,
hmm.
where the reason why I put it in like a diamond shape is because I wanted to do more like two pyramids above each other in reverse. So that's why I picked the diamond shape.
Oh,
Um, and
that's
it was
cool.
created with gold paint too, because gold was ancient to the Egyptians. It has a certain frequency, so I decided to create it with this deep charcoal black uh, with the golden lines.
Mm,
And I also put the protective eyes here for Horus. So if you look at the cat's eye on both sides, you can see that Egyptian logo as well for the god of protection, the Horus eye.
right. Yeah, that's
Um,
very cool.
Thank you.
These are so. I'm presuming these are prints, right? That
Yes,
that are for sale. Do you ever sell your originals?
I do. Yes, I sold a few of my originals, and I'm donating one of them to a charity.
Wow.
It's for a silent auction. And one of these pieces will be donated to a silent auction happening in October. So I'm really excited about that piece. But I like to keep the originals, to
Hmm.
be honest. But if someone reached out to buy them, I can consider selling them too.
Yeah,
Uh,
I suppose it's a bit of an investment, isn't it? Because if one of your prints took off, then having that, like, if it really took off, having the original, you would want to have it.
yeah,
Um, Very cool.
correct. So you can print any of those and in whatever size you want. Um, I do like a lot of landscape, as you can see here.
Oh,
This
nice.
is a lake in Michigan called Petoskey, and it was one of the prettiest views I've seen with the way that the light was shining on the lake. It
Mm.
was so peaceful. So I decided to paint that.
Would
Um,
you would you would you like take a picture and then recreate it, or would you do that like whilst you were like outside?
Both. I can do either or,
Okay.
whether it's through a picture or while in nature. It's more peaceful when you're doing it in nature, of course.
Hmm.
Um, but this one stood out to me, and I said that I had to paint it. Um, so you can pick whatever medium you want.
Hmm.
I have different types, whether it's a metal print, wood print, or just smooth fine art paper. You can also choose canvas gallery wraps. Any of these over here, and pick whatever size you want as well for your space.
Yeah, that's cool. And
They're all-
is that like worldwide drop ship
yes.
type thing? Oh,
Mhm.
cool.
You can order worldwide. It ships anywhere in the world, and it's in super high definition. So you can print these paintings up to 200, like 23 by 40 inches format, and
Mm.
they'll look high definition, very great quality, high quality paintings because of the way they were uploaded to.
Do you mind me asking which print on demand supplier you're using?
Well, I'm using this company called Art Storefronts,
Okay,
and they help build the website and collaborate with the print studio. So
that's
everything is
cool.
done through them. You can see their
Oh,
company
you got it
down.
in there.
Mhm. And it's been great so far.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, they've done a good job. The website's really nice.
thank you. And then you get promotions as well based on holidays. So you get certain discounts, like because of
Hmm.
Prime Days, you also get 30% off the art. If you're looking for unique pieces to decorate your space with.
Yeah. All right. Should we do one more? Or do you want to pick one?
Sure. I like to paint about grief as well. I have
Mm.
an album called Fragments of Grief because grief is one of those emotions that people always avoid talking about, right? And it's a heavy emotion. It really is, and it's honestly, I feel it deserves to be acknowledged. Like when someone is in grief, the worst thing you can ever do is to shove it away, is to distract yourself, is to not feel anything that's coming up. So when my mom passed away, for example, this is how I saw the world, and it's called the gray of grief. To me, it felt that everything was gray. Things lost color, and that's how the world looked like for me for a while grieving my mother's loss. So just I felt that I felt the need to portray that and just express it on paper because it's almost the same feeling as writing poems about grief or writing your thoughts down about a certain emotion. So as soon as I made this painting, I felt that yes, that's exactly how it feels like. Maybe a little darker, but
Mm.
there's something about grief that really deserves to be felt. And in this description, I wrote, grief paints the world in shades of gray, muting the colors of joy, wrapping the soul in a quiet, heavy fog. Yet, even in the stillness, there is strength. In time, light finds its way through the cracks, reminding us that even the deepest sorrow cannot erase the promise of color waiting to return.
Mm. Yeah, that's really beautiful. I think I'm sorry to hear about your mother. When was that?
Thank you. That was last August.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she passed away on her birthday. The day she turned 72, she decided to leave.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad.
I
At
mean,
least you were able to create a beautiful piece out of it.
I'm sure she would have loved it. She always supported my art and praised it. She would appreciate my work a lot and give me some tips. I feel like my mom's side of the family is very artistic, and that's probably where I got it from.
Mm. What type of things did your mum paint?
She did more of acrylic plastics, or sorry, acrylic flowers,
Hmm.
where you get this type of mold paste that's made out of plastic, and you create those flower bouquets out of plastic. So it kind of like mold paste. So she create those big bouquets of plastic flowers and decorate the house with it. She was so gifted.
I was just reflecting on that painting actually. If you've
Hmm.
ever been to the UK, it can look like that
I
sometimes.
have. Yeah, I've been to London before, and yeah, I've seen some of those gray days. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
I
the
live in a
streets.
place called the Lake District, so we've got like mountains and hills, and it's much more green, but we still get grey days.
We still get gray days in Michigan too. So I'm currently in the U.S. in a state called Michigan, and
Hmm.
it's mostly gray,
How's it?
especially in the winter. Yeah, like the summer here can be. I would say 60% of the summer is sunny, and the rest is gray or windy or some kind of weird weather.
Mm.
So I would definitely love to move to a state that is more sunny and warm, or a
Why did
place.
you choose Michigan?
That's where I did my master's degree. So I
Oh,
studied healthcare informatics. So
healthcare informatics.
health informatics. Yeah.
What's that
So
mean?
health. Anything that has to do with hospitals and computer systems that doctors and nurses use.
Oh, so
That's
it's IT for healthcare.
exactly IT for
Okay.
healthcare with an intersection of population health and public health and administration and all that stuff.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah, very close to the art world. Not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And anyone listening, I'll obviously link up your website in the show notes. Is it Soulscape?
Mhm.
Ga-
SoulScapeGallery.com.
yeah, that's a nice domain. That's a nice name.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I picked it up. I was able to find it. I chose Soulscape because art literally shows uh, part of your soul, right? So
Hmm.
kind of like landscape, but your soul. So that's why I picked that name because it's showing pieces of you. And I also designed that logo myself. So it's one of the first pieces I created when I started to share my work, and
Yeah, it's
gives
cool.
me gives me more of like a. These are like the essential pieces for me: sun, the water, and the moon. Because
Mm.
and there's also elements of the lotus flowers in there too. So if I zoom in for you here,
Hmm.
call this eternal bloom because we're constantly blooming, we're constantly evolving. It's a never ending process,
That's cool.
right?
Yeah, I like
Mhm.
that one.
So this is where you see those blue lotus flowers
Hmm.
hidden in the middle.
Yeah, that one's lovely. One of the things I was thinking about, I think many listeners, like including myself, probably the last time that they picked up a brush or a pencil would have been like at school. If they are listening to this now and they're inspired and they're wanting to maybe start along this journey of starting to create some artwork, what
Mhm.
advice would you give them?
I would say let go of perfectionism. Perfectionism was my worst enemy, honestly, and praise yourself, give yourself the positive, be your cheerleader. And even if it doesn't look good at first, at least you practiced, at least you got something out there. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just enjoy the process. And if you feel good doing it and you feel passionate about it, that's all you should focus on. Don't worry about the outcome. It's all about how it made you feel. And that's what you should care about the most. If it didn't make you feel great, then don't do it. Find something else. It's that simple.
Mm. And what about some like practical steps? Like, what are the things that you should like? Where should you start? What should you buy? Like, I've got no equipment. What should I start with?
um, just take it, but just the simple stuff. The material could be watercolor paper, because that's the thickest kind of paper you can use. It depends on which medium you like the most. If you like
Hmm.
watercolors, you can start with a watercolor kit. and the paper, and just practice online. If you There's plenty of videos online for practicing on how to use watercolors. For acrylics, you can also buy a little acrylic starter kit and a canvas and just start it. Or you can go to an art studio and maybe sign up for a workshop. It's Or just have a little sketchbook on you and get a pen and sketch away. It doesn't have to be perfect. If
Mm.
and if you want inspiration, you can look at galleries and other people's work, and you'll notice the amount of imperfection in art that actually makes it beautiful is what fascinates me. Like whenever I see a popular piece of art piece and I see the number of the price that it's being sold of, and it's not about the perfection of the art piece, it's about the story, the feelings behind that piece. And that's all that matters. It's not about how perfect the flower looks or the how the strokes are lined up. Everyone has their own style. It's about just being genuine with that style and doing your own thing and not copying. That's the main thing. Just don't copy other people's styles.
Mm. Yeah, I can't help but even though we're talking about like painting and drawing, I couldn't help but think about music again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that a lot of my like I would just get obsessed with like certain artists or like music and I would start a band like just doing their songs or just like go to town. So then like
Mhm.
doing the original thing I always found difficult. I would get frustrated with
Yeah.
uh like or when you do something then someone will say, "Hey, that sounds a bit like," and then you go and then you hadn't realized or whatever. But what is that saying? Like a bad artist copy, good artist steal. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, you can be inspired. You can be
Yeah.
inspired by artists and create the same style that you like that resonates deeply with you. I
Mm.
mean, look at artists like The Weeknd, for
Mm-hmm.
example. He copies a lot of pieces from Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah.
If you've noticed, even his voice, it's almost like he's trying to become him, but he's just inspired by him. And
Mm-hmm.
he's like one of the most famous artists in the world right now because his music reminds people of that amazing artist. So it's also the way
Mm.
you present your intention. Like intentions always speak louder than the product. What is your intention here? Are you really inspired by that person that it helped you create that piece because their work really resonates with you, or are you trying to be famous just for the sake of it, and it's not really coming from a place of truth or
Mm.
passion, you know? So it's okay. It doesn't have to be 100% new and what's the word? Innovative and one of a kind.
Well, there's
It
this
can
like concept, isn't there, that there's no such thing as originality. Really, it's all just rehashes of stuff we've seen and been conditioned with, and whether it's like advertisements we saw or whatever, or like a billboard you saw, you don't realize how much is actually going in.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah.
And I would call this inspiration. I
Mm-hmm.
would call this inspiration. A lot of the pieces that I create are images that I'm trying to present on canvas, or it's like something pops in my head and I want to represent that exact same message on canvas. And I feel that's what makes my art unique. Is it's not inspired by anything. It's just an image that I want to portray. It's like I'm trying to share something with the world to act as a reminder on their wall. For example, this piece behind me here, the one that talks
Yeah.
about, that looks like all these frequency lines.
Uh-huh.
This, let me move my laptop. Um, this piece reminds me of frequency. You know how everything
Mm-hmm.
is frequency around us?
Mm-hmm.
People are frequency, vibrations, and all that. So this reminds me of how frequency is felt and not seen, and to be very mindful of my own frequency and how it can affect everything around me, and I'm in control of it, and how powerful it can be for everybody. Like, you know how sometimes you walk into a place and you feel immediately low, or God, I really don't want to be here. I don't like the vibe in this place. That's a
Mm-hmm.
frequency. And the same thing with people, right? If you're around certain people and you feel uplifted and awesome and energetic and all that, that's a frequency. So
Mm.
this is something that, if you're the more you're aware of and how it works, the the better you'll be able to navigate it, and be more conscious of it.
What's your creative process?
Creative process.
Do you have a set thing you follow?
I just um, I don't wait for the right time to create. Like, I don't like, whenever I want to create, I just do it. I go to the canvas and start. Because the more I wait for the perfect timing, and sometimes I do it between meetings in my
Mm.
job, like when I worked remotely,
So
I
you
would do
like
it.
you strike when the muse like hits you.
Yeah, and maybe also when I'm avoiding responsibility, which is not a good thing. Like, I'm over probably procrastinating boring things, so I go to art because it's more fun, right? Um,
Yeah.
it's like I'm always in this constant. It's like a dance, between this logical corporate world and formal professional,
Mm-hmm.
and something that makes me feel great and passionate and represents a big piece of me. And I also love music when I paint. So music to me is so important when I paint.
What type of music do you play?
Um, Sometimes it's just Apple Shuffle, but the genre I like the most is alternative. Um, I like this artist called Alex Serra. His music
Mm-hmm.
is very tranquilizing. I'll send you his name.
Tranquilizing.
Yeah, tranquilizing. It's very spiritual, uplifting, calming. I think you'll enjoy his music a lot. His name
Okay.
is Alex Serra.
Alex Sarah.
Yeah. Can I type something in the chat?
I don't know. Not done
It's
it before.
disabled.
um,
It's probably disabled. I'll send it to
y-
you on Instagram.
yeah, send it and I'll put it in the show notes.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I've been really enjoying. We spoke about the music a lot on this, but I'm enjoying listening to music a lot at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I find myself in like I'm constantly listening to podcasts or books or um, which is great, but that is a lot of it is in like prefrontal cortex mode.
Yeah.
You
Very
know?
logical, right? It's like
Yeah, it's like
intellectual,
I'm trying to gather all this knowledge and etc.
right?
Whereas like just dancing around my kitchen uh, whilst I'm making my dinner in a slightly embarrassing way is kind of fun.
It is. Yeah, 100%. Just jump around and move your body. It
Hmm.
is. I used to be like that too. I used to listen to podcasts and audiobooks and content and self improvement and podcasts all the time, to the point where I stopped and I'm like, okay, what does Mila think? Right? Because it's almost like I'm taking on all these perspectives and opinions and point of views. But what about my point of view? Why am I dismissing? It's like this. I lost trust of my own point of view, and I'm just spreading
Mm,
other people's opinions onto the world. But I never really paused and thought deeply about what I was absorbing.
yeah, it's Yeah, it's interesting because I've had that same thing. That same thing
The same
where,
hunger to learn. It's not a bad thing though. It's
yeah,
like,
but also that, yeah, like trying to make sure, like, hold on a minute, is that my opinion?
right, like
Uh,
let me think about that again and see, that because that they're all perspectives,
mm-hmm.
right? They're not 100% truth.
No, I think what we do, I think what we do in life is we find figures that we look up to, and I guess again this maps onto like parents, right? So we find a figure that we look up to, a podcast or whatever. Okay, I like this person. Yeah, I agree with them on all this stuff. Right, I'm in.
Right.
Yeah, and then you just like absorb like all of the things if you're not careful. Um, and then yeah, I do like to do that myself is to like, is there anything here that I didn't agree with, and
Yeah.
like try and tease that out. And I must admit I've not been as mindful of it recently, so it's a nice little reminder for me to kind of like, as a practice, to be like, okay, where did I not agree? But
Hmm.
I think I've got much more instinctually like critical, like that critical thinking through, like, that's the thing, is that you have to do things intentionally, don't you, for them
Yeah,
to start becoming routine, and you know those neural pathways and stuff, and you're able to do it um as part of how you show up.
exactly. Yeah, and yeah, I'm glad you paused to notice that, because there's tons of helpful information out there, and tons of tools and knowledge and research and stuff like that to learn from. It never ends, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, what we don't know is that the answer can be within us, right? And that's what spirituality teaches us, right? Is that the more you pause, the more you contemplate and meditate and listen more to your inner voice, that's where you'll find the answers. But it takes a
Mm-hmm.
lot of quietness and stillness to be able to reach that stage, with this constant consumption. That's one of the main reasons why I like to paint and do art, is because I'm trying to replace consumption with some kind of creativity and
Mm.
putting something out.
It's a form of stillness as well, isn't it? So
Yeah.
yeah, very cool. What advice would you give your younger self?
My younger self, I would advise her to believe in herself more, and to continue to be brave and bold, and to just have fun,
Mm. What
play
might
and have
that
fun.
what might that have looked like? Was there a time when you weren't brave?
Oh yeah, of course. There was a time where I was too scared to speak up or walk away from something that wasn't serving me, or just being very submissive,
Mm.
because that's the I was copying my mom as well. So my mom was also that way. That was her belief system, is to obey and submit. So I took on the same concept or belief system because I saw my mom do that until it didn't serve me. It put me in a position where I need to speak up. I need to wake up, and yeah, my soul was hurting literally. And so it took a lot of letting go of these beliefs that I took on from her to be able to be where I am today.
Mm. Thank you for sharing that. I gave you a question in advance, which was, if you could only do 5 habits for the rest of your life, what would they be and why? Daily habits.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that question ever since you asked me. Actually, it's really really good one. It's like a good checklist to
Yeah.
keep in mind, right? The one of the habits would be to not judge, right? Being judgmental is the worst. It's a reflection of how you've been hurt before from being judged, and so it comes from a place of pain. And then uh, I've been guilty of judging all the time in the past. That as soon as I meet someone, like immediately I would judge them, which is a horrible thing. So I learned to never do that again because it closes a lot of opportunities for me, and I learned that I was doing it to protect myself from being judged because I got judged before, so I do it back, right?
Mm,
So weird how the mind works sometimes. Like human beings are so strange sometimes. The way we
yeah,
work.
yeah. You're actually, yeah. Life can be a bit of a mirror at times.
Exactly. So uh, choosing not to judge at all because um, I've never walked someone's path before, or I don't know what they're going through, how they grew up, or any of that. So I'm in no position of even judging them at anything. But there's a difference between judgment and discernment. Discernment
I
is
was
when
going to
you
say
know,
that. Yeah,
right? When
yeah.
you get this gut feeling that you know that kind of person is that way, so you don't want to be involved in with that kind of person. So judgment is more superficial, while discernment is you really see the truth here.
Mm,
That would be something, one of the habits that I live by. And then the second one would be gratitude, focusing on all the blessings that I have and really see that I have everything I need. And I try to teach that to my son as well. He keeps asking me those random questions of, Mom, if you won the lottery, what would you get? What would you buy? And I tell him, I have everything I need right now. I don't need the lottery. And he'd be surprised, because kids nowadays also live in this materialistic world. Everything
mm,
is, Mom, get me this, buy me that. I want this, I want that. So it's really easy to fall into that space of materialism and being attached to materialistic things. So definitely focusing on gratitude, that always puts me in a grounded state as well. The third habit would be to ground. Speaking of grounded states, third habit to do is to ground. And for those who don't know what grounding is, it's when you calm yourself from a state of scattered mind. If your thoughts are racing, if you're spiraling into that logical state of mind, if you're constantly analyzing and trying to get to the answer of things, to justify, to get to that answer of why did that happen, grounding always helps. And it's very simple by just breathing,
mm.
taking deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Nature
So it's
walks.
like being present.
Right. Being present, calming your mind, slowing down your pace, just breathing in and out several times until you're centered again, until you're calm, or just being
Mm.
aware that you're spiraling right now, you know?
Yeah, aware that you're in like crazy dopamine land.
Yeah, aware that you're overwhelmed,
Yeah.
aware that you're angry. Like this is just navigating those big emotions really help ground you.
Mm. They can
Uh,
be like those type of like experiences can be like a fever dream, can't they?
yeah,
And if you don't realize, and again, we're like come back to this like awareness, like is a real tool to have here, which takes time. But like some people will not get the prompt to ground all day. They won't
yeah,
feel that cue. They're just constantly in like go mode.
that's
Um, running from the next crazy emotion to sorry, next, not crazy, but like high peak, or
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Some people fear slowing down too. They feel that slowing down will not get them to the goals that they should aim for, and they're always behind. I've met a lot of people like that, and the minute I say just take a deep breath, take a break, slow down, I'm immediately attacked. Like, no way I'm
Mm,
taking a break right now. Are you crazy?
I
But
like to I have a slightly um utilitarian kind of grounding type. Well, I have lots of ways that I ground myself, but one in particular, which I've
Mhm.
spoken about before on the podcast, is if I usually, like, I need to go out and take a walk because I've got so much incoming, so much content to like deal with, or whatever. Then the only way that you can actually piece that together from a creative process is to get some space, right? I
Yes,
always think it's like,
exactly.
like trying to build a Lego figure whilst you're in the box of Lego. Whereas what you need to do is take them out and put them on the mat, or whatever. And that's like taking your ideas for a walk with you. But
Yeah.
one thing I like to do is, like, as a bit of an exercise, is like a kind of, it's like back and forth between the grounding and the, making my camera go funny, back and forth between the, like, the grounding and then the, like, the thinking mode. So if I'm like, okay, I don't want to be unproductive, I'm getting to the point now. This is what I meant. Like, because I want to be like doing stuff. I don't want to be just like looking up at a tree like Eckhart Tolle for 60 minutes. But I will just do, like, it's almost like intervals of mindfulness, grounding whilst I'm
Yeah.
walking. And like, right, once I get to that tree, I'm going to be like really present with everything. Take it all in. Once I get to that tree, I can let go and I'll let my, like, mind just like think away or whatever. And then I'll wait until like a little bit further down the road. Okay, let's go again. Sometimes I time it on my watch.
Yeah.
But it's really good. Like, it's really good because if you are like in that, like, if you've got lots of things to do, but you're trying to like get a bit of space, get out some fresh air, but you still want to be kind of like productive, it's a very
That's a great tool. I'm gonna use that.
yeah, it's good for the neurodivergent usually.
Yeah.
But it's really good, and I think not only it like works two ways, because it like stops to, like, if you're in prefrontal mode and like lots of stress or whatever, it will then like, oh sorry, amygdala or whatever, then it will like shift you into like the other mode. And then also like um the presence can actually help then with the other stuff, and they kind of just like, yeah, help each other out. I'm waffling
Yeah.
a little bit now,
It's
excuse
like
me.
taking a break, like giving these portions
Yeah,
of your brain a little break from overworking or working the whole time.
yeah, and I mean, some people might just go out for a walk and they'll get that anyways. But it's
Yeah.
like, if you're really kind of wanting to get the most out of it, then you can actually do it as a practice and sort of like just move between them. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's one I really like.
I
Sorry,
do like
I'm talking about my habits now.
No, that's great. That's part of the grounding subject because there are several ways to do that, right? And it's very popular. Everybody keeps talking about grounding, but it's really hard to explain sometimes. Uh,
Mm,
and it's crazy how it's just as simple as breathing in and out. Because I know one thing I notice about myself is I, on a day-to-day basis, I breathe shallowly. My breath
hmm
is kind of shallow in comparison to when you ground. You really try to slow your heartbeat a little, take deep breaths in and then out. So you try to like go back to a calm state of mind.
hmm
And because I was constantly, my brain was running all over the place. So
Yeah, and it's surprising like how much like we hold our breath as well.
yeah, right. Without
Uh,
even noticing, that's
yeah, like when you're concentrating on something, you're like, are you on the computer? And then you're just like, hold, like,
right. It's so weird how we have to remind ourselves to breathe.
hmm
uh,
yeah. So
and
that
then
was the third one. What's the fourth?
the fourth one for me would be Hold on. It's coming back. So we said grounding, gratitude, not judging.
That's another trick, by the way. I'll distract you while you're trying to remember that.
I remembered
Uh,
it.
you
Oh,
remembered it? There you go. But that's like because the grasping when you're trying to retrieve a memory, can sometimes like be too much. So you have to let go, and then it comes.
yeah. That's. I think that's what just happened. Okay. I grasped onto the three habits so I could get to the fourth.
Hmm.
Um, that would be to work to be closer to, or to come from the heart more, come from the heart space more. I All my life I've been very intellectual, very logical, and I disconnect from the heart because growing up I was taught that women are so emotional and you shouldn't lead with your emotions and stuff
Mm.
your emotions down, be logical like a man. Which turns out men actually are emotional too. Like a lot of their decisions are emotion, like based on emotions. So that was wrong information. I'm trying to
Hmm.
unlearn here.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to connect more from the heart, and which helps me be more in touch with my feminine side as well. Unfortunately, being a single mom and navigating the corporate world and all that, it puts you in such a masculine state sometimes. So it's all about the do,
Mm.
finish, accomplish, the competition, the corporate ladder, and all that. So uh, connecting more from the heart space really helps me open up more and grow spiritually too.
Mm.
Things like my artwork helps me do that as well, and
What's it?
helps me
Sorry.
connect deeper with people as well.
What's interesting as well is like these clearly all like feed into one another. These habits.
Yeah, they kind of complement each other in a way.
Yeah, like because you
Yeah,
to do the heart to be in your heart space more, you're gonna have to be more grounded.
that's true. Exactly. The more I ground, the more I'm in the heart space. You're right,
Hmm.
and I'm still learning all that. Growing out of all the intellectual part of me. I'm like very. I used to be very like into science and facts. You can't argue with science kind of thing, but I learned that this is a perspective, this is a point of view of life as well. It doesn't have to be 1000% right. There could be some variations. um, and so the fifth habit for me would be to try to have more fun in life and not take things so seriously all the time, right? Just have fun and leave room for play, and just, yeah, it doesn't I don't want to waste my life worrying all the time and being in a state of anxiety, worrying about the future, what's going to happen next. It's worthwhile to enjoy a little bit of it as well.
Yeah, that's they're all really good, and yeah, the fun one is something that I definitely need to work on. Um, yeah, I feel that one. I feel that one. Even like now, like I'm sat here, like I'm very aware of like how in line I am with the camera. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like everything's like straight. Um, you know. So it's not like I'm gonna, but I don't think I'm about to get up and do a TikTok dance like on a podcast. So
No thanks.
no thanks. Yeah, no, that's cool. So we have no judgment, gratitude, grounding, be in your heart space, have fun.
Pretty
Pretty good.
much.
Pretty good.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for taking your time, like, and answering them with so much thought.
Of course, it's a great question. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, I'm doing this. I kind of got this other little project that I'm doing at the moment, which is like a habit building community that I've started, like a free thing. So I'm kind of weaving in habits into the podcast and stuff, so it's kind of like top of mind. So something I need to get better at myself. So I'm creating a community for it.
That's
Create the
awesome.
thing you need.
Beautiful. Yeah, if we can, if you can bring people together based on similar habits or
Hmm.
common habits that they're aiming for, aligning with their values too, that would be awesome.
Mm. Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. People want to get shit done and live a better life. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
people
right,
want to be happy.
Mila, this has been fantastic. I appreciate you sharing
Of
your
course.
story and showing me um, your work. You're clearly very talented. So
Thank you.
um, yeah, this has been cool. I've not had an artist on before, so
Oh, I'm your first artist. What a privilege.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah. Well, I've had like a tattoo artist, but yeah, like this type of art. But yeah,
First
certainly.
Egyptian, then.
First, yeah, and definitely first Egyptian. Definitely first Egyptian. Um,
So,
do you have any plans on the horizon? Anything we can expect from you?
any plans on the horizon uh, in regards to my work?
Yeah.
Um, Nothing at the moment. The one thing I'm excited about was that piece I'm donating for that auction.
Hmm.
I'm really looking forward to that because it's an organization that supports survivors of domestic violence, and I'm honored to share that piece and display it, which was the first piece I showed you, the one with the two hands, and I really hope that it serves as a reminder to walk away from relationships that or abusive relationships that don't serve you, especially when you have little ones that are
Hmm.
watching and
Hmm.
learning all that. Maybe do it for them. So hopefully this piece will serve as a reminder for that message, that empowering message, and generate money for that foundation. So fingers crossed for that.
Wow. Yeah, that's awfully kind and yeah, and such a beautiful piece as well.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's really nice. And where should people go if they want to check out your work?
They can follow me on Instagram on soulscape.33, or they can check out my website, soulscapegallery.com.
Awesome. And as I said throughout the conversation, I'll stick all that in the episode description, show notes, whatever you want to call it.
Awesome. I appreciate it, Jason. Thank you.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. And yeah, hope you have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon.
You too. This was fun.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey guys, it's me. Just a quick one before you get going. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to check out the show notes for links to my guest and that 15% off you can get from Bear Bar. Go to bit.ly/bearjace for 15% off your first order. Thanks for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one.